Now, less than 3 weeks to go before the general election, Minnesota Republicans are filing a petition with the state Supreme Court. They're citing concerns about Hennepin County's handling of absentee ballots. The group claims the county is breaking a state law. Valley News Team's Quinn Gorham explains.
Following the extremely close Minnesota Senate race between Al Franken and Norm Coleman in 2008, Minnesota passed laws to ensure bipartisan accuracy on absentee balloting. Now, according to state law, both major state parties need to submit a list of possible election judges to counties across the state, and counties are required to include names from those lists on their elections boards. Now, the Minnesota State Republican Party is claiming that hasn't happened this year in Hennepin County. The party announced Wednesday it would be filing a lawsuit in the state Supreme Court after an inquiry in August showed that none of the names on their absentee ballot boards were from the GOP's list. Party Chair David Hand says it's not about the party affiliation of the board members, but rather the county's alleged failure to include names from the list. There are many tasks at the state level that require election judges from both parties, like receiving drop-off ballots from voters. The safeguards are there to maintain a level of trust in the electoral process. With early voting already underway and only a few weeks until the election, those involved with the lawsuit say urgency is important.
We're in the middle of absentee ballot season, and we want this to be fixed as quickly as possible. So we're hoping the court will act quickly. We know that now service has been completed on Hennepin County as of this morning. Mary Moriarty was served via EMAX last night, so the county is aware of the lawsuit.
We reached out to Hennepin County and received a written statement from the county auditor. In that statement, they said that they have complied with the state law and plan to address any specific issues with their handling in the court. Reporting in St. Paul, I'm Quinn Gorham.
We also reached out to the Minnesota Secretary of State's office, where they did not have any comment on this particular situation.